Today we will discuss an important topic of class 12th physics, cyclotron. Let's start. Cyclotron is a device which is made by Lorentz and Livingstone in 1934, and it is used for accelerating positively charged particles. Positive charged particles like protons, neutrons, alpha particles, etc. Why we need to accelerate these particles? Students, in practical experiments, you can say in nuclear physics, we need to study atomic structure of a substance, or you can say if we want to know internal structure of a specimen, we have to bombard some charged particles on it, and in those experiments we use this device. So on which principle this device works? We studied that when a charged particle enters in magnetic field, it experiences force and it starts rotating in a circle, revolving in a circle. On this concept, this device is made. In this device, a charged particle enters in magnetic field and it experiences force, describes circular path, and the frequency of revolution of the charged particle does not depend on the radius of circular path and velocity of particle. How? And what is the construction part of this cyclotron, and how this principle matches with the structure of the cyclotron? Students, there is two metallic sheets in the form of evacuated metallic chambers whose shape is like D, alphabet D of English, and that is known as Ds. Say this is D1 and this is D2, and these are placed in the perpendicular magnetic field which is produced by this north and south pole. This is the magnetic field direction, north to south, and these Ds are connected with a high frequency oscillator which changes the polarity of these Ds, and there is a window from which charged particle passes out and hits the target where we want to hit that charged particle. And how it works, students? If we wish to accelerate charged particle Q, we will place that charged particle in between the D's at a center point, and this high frequency oscillator gives polarity to these D's, and say this it gives polarity that D1 is at positive potential and D2 is at negative potential. Then the charged particle attracts towards positive polarity and goes in this D, and where due to magnetic field it covers circular path, and then it passes in this region where there is no force on this charged particle, and then it moves straight, and then after a fixed interval, high frequency oscillator changes the polarity. Now D1 is at positive potential and D2 is at negative potential. In this case also the charged particle follows circular path, but this time of large radius. You can see this is the path that charged particle follow in the D1, and same is happening again. When it reaches this region, it goes straight, and again polarity is reversed. Now D2 is at negative potential, D1 is at positive potential. Then again it follows circular path, and its radius is increasing and increasing. And you know, when it acquires a specific speed or a particular speed, it comes out of from this window and hits the target. So this is the constructional and working part of. Now students, let's see what is the theory behind it. If charged particle enters in these D's, it experiences magnetic force. Charged particle is Q, it is moving with velocity V, and perpendicular magnetic field is there, then magnetic force is QVB. Actually it is QVB sine theta, and theta is 90 degrees, so sine 90 is 1, so that's force is QVB. And the centripetal force that it experiences is known as is given by the formula mv square by r, and when we equate these two forces, then we know we get R is equal to mv upon bq. This is the radius of the circular path that charged particle follow in this magnetic field. And if we calculate the period of revolution, the time period of the revolution in a complete circle of radius r, the charged particle covers distance 2 pi r with velocity v, then time period is 2 pi r upon v, and we calculate this value as 2 pi m upon bq. This is the time period of revolution of the charged particle in these d's. So if we know time period of revolution, we can calculate frequency of revolution. Then frequency of revolution is given by reciprocal of this time period, and it is bq upon 2 pi m. Students, you can clearly see that this frequency does not depend on velocity and radius of the circular path that the charged particle follow, that we discussed in the principal part. So now students, we will discuss what is the maximum kinetic energy of the charged particle. Let's talk about maximum kinetic energy of the cyclotron. If v naught is the maximum velocity that is gained by this, acquired by this charged particle, and r naught is the maximum radius of the circular path that the charged particle acquired, then centripetal force is mv naught square upon r naught, and which is countered by q v naught b. This is magnetic force. From this relation, v naught is bq r naught upon m, and we can calculate maximum kinetic energy by using this relation, because kinetic energy is half mv square. So this is the maximum kinetic energy of the charged particle in the cyclotron. So we saw how cyclotron accelerates a positive charged particle, and with this kinetic energy we can bombard this charged particle on any target that we want to study, or that atomic part which we have to study. So this is the constructional part, principle and working of the cyclotron. And if we talk about some limitations of this cyclotron, so we can write that if charged particle is moving, its mass is also increasing with speed. So we can't neglect the variation of this mass in the speed of charged particle. Secondly, we can't accelerate negatively charged particles like electrons with this device. And other limitations of this cyclotron is we can't accelerate neutral particles also, like neutrons and all. So these are the limitations, and about its uses we discussed earlier. This device is used to accelerate positive charged particle to study, and in various nuclear experiments this device is very helpful.